What's up, guys? Hey, this is Christian Brindle with Six Figure Medicare Agent. Hope this video finds you doing well. And today, we're here to talk about direct mail, the DM. And I don't mean direct messages. It's not people sliding into your DMs. It's direct mail leads. How to build your business with direct mail leads. Let's get into this. So, guys, people just have very, very strong opinions when it comes to the DM, the direct mail leads. They either swear by it or they absolutely think it's outdated and ridiculous. And what is the truth? Well, in my opinion, I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle of these two polar opposite extremes. I know people in the business that have built their business on the back of direct mail marketing. Now, there's different kinds of direct mail marketing. There's people that kind of have their own specific branded direct mail marketing. What I'm talking about in this video here today is specifically only if you're basically, just placing a direct mail order with a company, with a lead company. It might be Lead Concepts, who we have done a video about on this channel, who I very much like. But basically, guys, that's basically the model we're going to be going over in this video here today. You place a lead order with a vendor. They send out a piece of your choosing, and then you get response rates back, and you are able to work these leads. You might be going door to door. Maybe you don't feel safe with the Rona and everything going on, and maybe you don't have a mask like I do. And for safety reasons, you're trying to do it over the phone. Whatever the case might be, that's the model that we're going to be looking at here today. And just for time's sake, we're not going to be talking about branded mail pieces or anything like that. So anyway, guys, how does direct mail typically work? Well, the way that direct mail leads typically work is you're going to spend X amount of dollars to send out X amount of mailers. Direct mail works in bulk, in volume, in large numbers. So usually people are going to send out thousands of pieces of mailers in a specific area or zip code or county all at the same time, and then they're going to get a percentage of response rate back. In my opinion, I think a good response rate is probably anywhere between 2.5 to 4, maybe even 5% response rate. 4 or 5% is typically phenomenal response rates. Anything above that is just extraordinary. Now, I think a bad response rate is probably 1%, 1.5%, maybe even under 1% particularly. Now, I'm not going to talk about exactly which direct mail companies that I particularly like to work with because it's just a topic for another day, but this is the model that so many people in the business have used. Direct mail is probably the oldest marketing tactic that we have in the insurance business. It's as old as insurance itself is, if you will, almost. And there's been people in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and 2010s that have built up large businesses on the back of direct mail. Now, it's not as sexy as Facebook advertising, social media advertising, and I'm not even particularly saying that one is better than the other. Basically, in this video, we're going to talk about some strategies that you can use to get the most out of direct mail if that's a strategy that you so choose to use. Basically, guys, typically, depending on the vendor you're going to be looking at, you're going to be spending anywhere between usually $400 to $500 per drop per 1,000-piece mailers. So if you're going to send out a 2,000-piece mailer, for example, you're probably going to end up spending $800 to $1,000 out of pocket in most case scenarios with that vendor. If you're going to send out a 3,000-piece mailer, you're probably going to spend about $1,500 out of pocket, and so on and so forth. Now, think about it like this. Let's say you're doing a 1,000-piece mailer for a $400 to $500 investment of your money. Let's say you're getting a 3% return. Well, that's 30 leads. 3% of 1,000 is 30. So you're going to get 30 leads on the back end. Now, 30 leads is not a bad return of investment for $500. If you're writing Medicare Advantage, let's say you're writing, new to Medicare Advantage, maybe you're doing a turning 65 direct mail piece. If you write one of those, you've made your money back. If you write two of those, you've made about 100% return on your money. So it's not to say, and if it's a good direct mail piece, if it's not something that's basically promising them, a free iPad or something like that, it's probably going to be a pretty good investment. Now, there's different ways that you can do this. It's all a numbers game. There's certain people that try to sell it over the phone. I've always been a big believer that direct mail is easier to sell face-to-face than over the phone. I just really do believe that is true. But back in the pandemic, we did a direct mail order for, lead concepts for our direct mail lead concepts review video. If you haven't checked that video out, go search it in YouTube. Just search Christian Brindle lead concepts or six-figure Medicare Agent lead concepts and it'll pop right up. But, we didn't get the greatest return, but lead concepts, gave us a credit for future drops, which I think makes up for it in full. But essentially, guys, we got 12 leads back. We got a 1.2% return. I just did a small drop. I only did a 1,000-piece drop. And out of those 12, we sold 6 dual Medicare Advantage plans all over the phone. It's a 50% conversion rate on leads, not appointments or phone calls, leads, which, that tells you right there that it can be done. Now, if you're going to do it face-to-face, there's 2 different strategies that you can take. You can call ahead of time and try to book appointments for later on in the week, or you can call over the weekend. I've talked to people that have, booked appointments on a Saturday or Friday or Saturday, and they'll go out on Monday and Tuesday. There's no real exact science or model to how you want to do that. And they'll just go out on those appointments that day. They'll fill a day or two and go out and see these appointments. The other thing that a person can do primarily is they can just show up and door knock these leads. This is compliant because you have a lead. They requested information. So essentially, you guys, there's a couple different ways you can do it. It's all just a numbers game. Now, you want to make sure that you're getting information from the vendor in terms of the piece that they'd recommend using for what you're trying to sell. And there's direct mail lead pieces for Medicare supplement replacements, turning 65, dual Medicare Medicaid eligibility, final expense, Medicare Advantage replacement. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, you're going to be able to find it with a direct mail piece. One thing I like about lead concepts, and I'm just, plugging them like crazy on this video, but they will tell you a percentage that they're going to basically guarantee on a drop. And if they do not deliver, they'll either give you a credit or a refund the difference, which is phenomenal. You're not going to find that anywhere in the industry, guys. It's all about, in my opinion, just being consistent. I do think, now the age-old question is, does direct mail still work? Yes. Clearly, it still works, We've been doing direct mail drops this year, probably more often than not since we found lead concepts, because before we were just using vendors that I wasn't crazy about. But in essence, my friends, it's a situation where I do believe it still works. I don't believe anything works 100% or all the way, but I do think it's something, especially for new agents that are just trying to get their feet wet and make a quick splash and make some sales. It's a good alternative for something like that, and it's something that can supplement your marketing and whatever else you might be doing in your business. Guys, what I can tell you is it's a numbers game. So if you should be trying to get anywhere between, in my opinion, 2.5% to 4% return on your direct mail drops, and I believe, for every I think you should have about a 50% conversion rate if it's a good direct mail lead, maybe higher. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, drop a like on the video, subscribe for future six-figure Medicare Agent content, and drop a comment down in the comment section on what you'd like to see me talk about on future videos. Have a great day. Take care.